All right, so there's two tricks on how to limit your hazing on the way you're installing your grout and then on the way you're cleaning up your grout. So the first trick is when you're installing it, what you're going to do is get a damp sponge, so like I can't squeeze anything out of it. And then as you're going to just wipe the tile. And what that does is that this surface gets a little bit more slippery. So when you get your grout, it skids over the top surface, so then you're not sticking it on. Especially with tile like this that's honed, if you apply over when it's dry, it's basically sticking to it. It's harder. So that's the first trick, and then second trick I'll show you at the end of the video and when we're cleaning up. All right, so here are a couple things to make sure you keep in mind when you're grouting. One, mix your grout appropriately to whatever grout size you have. So we have 16-inch grout, which is obviously kind of tight. So you want to mix your grout looser so it can work into those areas. If you have 1/4 inch, I don't know who still has 1/4 inch grout lines, you want to mix it a little bit thicker so then it doesn't drip as much, if that makes sense. All right, so when you're applying your grout, we're gonna come out of here and I'm just gonna force it in essentially just like that. You could do it sideways, like this as well. So we're gonna be forcing it in. And then what you're doing is on a 45, you're just going to collect it. And then you get to this grout line. Force it in, just like that, and then collect it on the 45. Here's when you know when you're ready to start washing off your grout. When you're touching it, it's kind of dry to your touch. It's not sticking with you. Like this is right here is right fresh. When I touch it, it's sticking to your finger. That's not ready to go. At least that's kind of how I know it. Plus, I have a rubi grout bucket. So essentially, it's one sponge system and one bucket system. What's cool is like I'll be able to do this entire wash with one bucket. And then probably at the end, I'll just change it out to then do my final wash. But I should be able to wash this twice. But it's nice big sponge. What it has here is these kind of honeycomb cuts. So when you're dragging it, it's kind of going, usually when you go pick up your grout, it just sticks to one end essentially. But here you have 1, 2, 3, 4 ends where your grout gets picked up. So it's just a lot more efficient of a sponge. So what you're going to do first is just very lightly kind of go over the top. I'm not trying to collect the grout. I'm just trying to kind of rehydrate the grout over the tile and then start washing it out a little bit. And now I'm going to wash it out. And to wash it out is as simple as just going like this. What's nice is your hand doesn't get too wet. A lot of times with grout, that's why you get those dry hands and you start kind of getting cracked skin. So we're just gonna go like this here. Whoops. Look how clean that is right away. Now I'm just gonna come in here and collect the kind of water from the top. Just nice and easy going like this. And then like that. I'm not pressing too hard. I don't want to wash out those grout lines too much. I want to keep them nice and full. Bang! That one's done. We're going to come back and wash that one more time and we're done with that. Now I'm just going to do this big floor the exact same method. All right, guys, I know a lot of you are going to want to put a fan in here and just speed this up. Please try not to do that. There's a chemical reaction that has to happen within the grout and all that stuff. So when they do their lab tests, they don't put a fan on it. They just let it dry. That way you have the strongest chemical reaction. Because if you put a fan on it, it's just going to suck the water all out and then it's not going to do the same thing. That's when you get the discoloration. That's when sometimes the grout doesn't set right. just go on TikTok, go on YouTube, whatever it is, watch some WINNI Designs videos, and just give this like about 45 minutes to half an hour, and then we're gonna wash it one more time, all right? All right, guys, so it's been a minute, and our floor is kind of dry now, and we're doing our second wash, but this is our final wash. All we have to do is now we're going to nicely kind of polish this off. Don't rush this. You're actually trying to wash the tile, right? And then the trick to having no haze is using these microfiber towels, little microfiber towels that you can get in these little bags, and then just collect and dry it up. Because essentially what haze is, it's just dirty water that stayed on your tile, dried, the water left, and then the stuff that was, the dirty stuff is the haze. So if you pick that up into your towels, there's nothing to get to be left behind. Simple as that. That's the trick to having no haze. Good luck.